a video of something that I just want to have a quick faff around with. So, years ago, by sheer accident, I watched a late night film called King of the Hill. It's a Steven Soderbergh. Maybe I didn't pronounce it correctly. Soderbergh? Anyway, the guy who made Ocean's 11 and Sex, Lies and Videotape, and Traffic, and Out of Sight, and loads of other great films. And it's about America, a boy's life in the 1930s Depression era, New York, I think. And they're really kind of strapped for money. Times are really difficult. And one day, this boy kind of looks after his father. His father's a salesman and kind of disappears off out. It's a good film, but he spends most of the time looking after himself. And one day he makes soup for his father, and he makes it out of tomato ketchup and just adds water to the tomato ketchup. So I don't know what made it come back in my head, but I just kind of thought we'll have a go with that. So it's just cheap supermarket tomato ketchup. But I kind of thought to myself, well, it's got tomatoes in it, it's got vinegar in it, it's got salt in it, it's got, what else has it got in it? Water, tomato puree, sugar, spirit vinegar, maize starch, salt, something or other, acidity regulators, citric acid, ground coriander, allspice, ground cloves, ground something or other, something other than something other. So I kind of thought we'll just have a go. So 100 grams worth of tomato ketchup in there, and then so far that is about 100 milliliters of water. So we're going to give it a go. Where's my whisk? We might, I mean, it's essentially a bit of tomato puree with a few spices in it. So I can't see why that won't make a soup, so like a condiment soup type thing. So how does it taste? You can tell it's tomato ketchup. So a bit more water. It just tastes like like watered down tomato ketchup. So that's about 200 milliliters of water. So I suppose if you're kind of desperate, but you know that's not bad. It's sharp, it's sweet, it's a little bit salty, it's tomatoey. Not terrible. Not terrible. You know, if you were if you wanted like a tomatoey drink, and kind of didn't have anything else in the house, that's not so bad. So what I have got is I've cooked down some onions today because I've got some other jobs to do. I've always got things to do. So I was kind of thinking what we could do is we could puree some onions into that. I'll just work out how much onions I've got, and then we'll puree some onions in it because onions are the basis of most soups. So let's just work out how much onions I've got in this. So I've got 560 grams. So that, and that, and that. What's that? So that's about 130 grams. Let's put 150 grams in. Right, so that's about 150 grams worth of cooked onion. Let's just get that out of the way. Don't want to make a mess. I think now I can put it in that back. Right, and let's get the blender out. And I've just blended it off camera because the lead like this long enough. But we'll see how that turns out. But I think the onions will just add a bit of depth of flavour. And we'll have to do it off camera. I'll pause. Right, I blended it in. And we are back. How does that taste? Looks more like a tomato soup. It's alright with that. That's alright. It needs a bit of chicken stock cube in there. So let's have a bit of chicken stock cube. Now, the only danger with that is that it's a little bit salty. That'll be alright. So we'll blend this into it. Right, so we put quarter of a stock cube in. Let's give that a try. Do you know, that's not bad at all, that. That's not bad at all. That's not dissimilar from Heinz tomato soup, is that? That's not dissimilar from Heinz tomato soup, so. I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that. So if I was, there's a sliding scale of food. Kind of what you pay along the bottom, and it kind of goes cheap, expensive, and then there's a line that kind of goes up with quality, and kind of, as it's not expensive, look what else has been out in the garden. For the price and where you're eating, that's okay. Like, you wouldn't get away with that in a fancy restaurant, but in a cheap cafe or a takeaway or a takeaway sandwich shop where you can buy a sandwich and like a soup of the day, and like the soup only costs you £1.50, you'd be happy with that. You'd be happy with that. So there we go. We can make tomato soup from tomato ketchup. Who would have guessed it? And again, a success. I mean, it's not, turn it off, it's not amazing, but it's alright. And if I'm ever stuck for, I want to make a soup really kind of quite easy, quickly for myself, then I'd certainly do that again. But anyway, so, a success, yeah, a success. And also, so I bought an onion, sliced an onion and cooked an onion. You could just buy frozen sliced onions and use those in it. So boil those up in some water from frozen, and then puree them up in the water, add a chicken stock cube, and add tomato puree to the right kind of tomatoiness, and you would have quite an easy, quick soup from things that you've got around the house. And you could do the same with tomato puree, but if you haven't got tomato puree, you can use tomato ketchup. And I always kept, so like, you don't need to have tomato puree in the house to make that soup. You can use tomato ketchup in the same way that you don't have to have tomato ketchup in the house. You can just have tomato puree. And to buy two things, you don't need, you know, like, you don't need to. You can just buy the one thing and it'd be cheaper. So if the more you can use one thing for, the better. So instead of just putting tomato ketchup on your chips, you can turn it into soup. But there we go. I think that's a success. I wouldn't serve it for my functions unless someone wanted something really cheap. But if I was to ever do like a soup kitchen or something like that, it'd be alright. There we go.